So just make sure for your yin practice tonight, you've got a bolster, a pillow, if you haven't got a bolster at home, a blanket, a cushion, whatever you need to make yourself comfortable. And then start by coming to that comfortable seat. Let the eyes close down. Let the hands connect to your knees. Just take a moment to arrive here. And to notice how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally. How is your breath? Just finding the answers to those questions so you can honor yourself by inviting the practice in that is going to nourish you. So if the body is feeling fatigue, tightness, just acknowledge that and adjust your practice accordingly. If the mind is really active, let it be active. But try not to get into that conversation. Almost like the thoughts just float by. We acknowledge we've seen them, but we let them go. Taking this moment to be here fully. Tonight's practice is focusing on opening through the heart center, the front of the chest, at the same time that release through the arms. So just in this moment, without adjusting the body, how are you seated? Is the spine long? Are the sitting bones grounded? The shoulders rolling inwards in almost a protective manner? Or are they starting to open up, an invitation of whatever waits ahead of us? That confidence and the strength that we have within. Take a moment here to adjust, to let the spine grow long, to let the shoulders start to come down your back. To just notice this heart space. Gently drawing the left hand toward your heart, let the right hand come on top. And then slowly bow your chin to your chest. Start to feel that connection inwardly. For the next hour, can you commit to nourishing yourself? And maybe you know someone out there who needs this practice more than you. You might dedicate this practice to them. But at the same time, don't feel selfish if this is what you need. Soak it all in. Gently lifting your chin and slowly lowering your hands. We're going to come over into our first pose for tonight. We're coming into supported fish pose. So maybe you've got a bolster, a cushion, a pillow, a blanket even, just roll it up and nestle it into the base of your spine. And then from there, start to lay the back long down your prop. Let the arms come by your side. The legs can be together. They could be a little wider. What I want you to focus on is the front line of your body. In particular, this chest and heart space. Just turning the timer on. Most of our poses tonight, we're going to hold for 5 minutes. So 5 minutes allows us to really sink into each posture. And over time in the pose, more space might be on offer. But also, you might become a little stuck. That'll be especially the case if you force your body into a shape. So that first minute is always about jiggling and wriggling until you find that sweet spot. That moment where you check in with the target area. Once you have achieved that, then whatever the shape looks like is how it should be. In each pose, the chatter from me will be only for the first minute. Then there will be silence. Maybe you have music on the background. Maybe the sound is from people around you. Let them become faint whispers. And soak up every moment here. Take a full breath in. Open the mouth, sigh the breath out. Let the whole body be soft. The fingers slowly uncurling. The jaw gently relaxing. The simple flow of every breath in and every breath out. In your own time, slowly bend the knees, walking the soles of the feet to the ground, and then simply roll to one side, pausing for your rebound in our fetal position. And the rebound is the moment that we absorb where we have just been. Try to avoid the temptation to readjust any props. Doesn't matter if something is gently touching your body. Maybe the sensation can be felt from whatever prop you were using. Obviously, it's always your choice whether you use these props or not. I think for me, I've become a little addicted to them. They enable me to really soften. And I find that I give up that fight, the desire to go further into the pose physically, which in turn allows me to go more inwards. And slowly, you're going to push yourself up. You're gently going to come over to a tabletop position. And just using this as a transitionary pose, we're just going to take a few rounds of cat and cow. So maybe just swaying the hips side to side, feeling that beautiful neutral spine, the core just gently drawing in towards your spine. Then find that place of center. Take a full breath in here and a long breath out. On an inhale, drop your tummy, lift your heart all the way up. And on an exhale, gently curl chin to chest. Inhale, slowly roll forward, vertebra by vertebra. Exhale, gently go back. Just one more. Inhale to roll forward. Exhale to gently travel back. And slowly coming back to that neutral position. And from here, we're going to come into our cow pose. So I want you to get that right knee and just stack it on front of your left. Now, this is where you may want a cushion, a pile of books to just put underneath your sitting bones. So if you find that this right knee is really lifted like this, then maybe just extend that left leg long. If that is still too much for you, then you simply cross the legs, right shin in front of the left. So find where you need to be. For me, I'm going to come into the full extension of it, but at the same time, I'm going to elevate my hips just to help me find that forward momentum. Take a deep breath in this upright position. A long, slow breath out. As you breathe in, reach the arms, lift all the way up. And as you breathe out, gently wrap that right arm underneath the left. So coming to our eagle arms, if that is too much, release and just take opposite hand on shoulder. Then slowly take a breath in as you lift, maybe lean back a little, and then slowly curl your chin towards your chest. We're just going to hold this variation for 2 minutes. Adjusting where you need to. This first minute, just finding the space. So by taking the arms into these binds, we feel that real sense of rinse and release. So although you're probably going to feel a sensation through the outer hip, I want you to target in on the shoulders, the chest, and send the breath to this area. Slowly lifting yourself up, release the arms and just let them rest down by your side for a moment. Maybe they feel a little longer. Maybe there isn't any difference at all. Then slowly sweep your arms back up. This time bend the right arm. Let the hand travel down your back. Bringing that left hand onto the right elbow. Just gently guiding the hand further down your back. Now you might stay here, or if you have the space, reaching the left arm out to the side as you rotate it behind you, clasping the fingers or maybe holding your top. Then gently feel that lift as you lengthen through the upper body, and then slowly we start to bow forward. And it doesn't matter how far you go into these poses. I want you to ideally function about 5 out of 10 tonight. You'll know when you've gone too far. But you also know when you haven't gone far enough. If it becomes too much with the arms, then just release them to the floor in front of you. Try and keep the breath long. Seeing if you can balance the inhale with the exhale. Slowly lifting the torso up. Releasing the arms slowly, and then gently use the hands to help you lean back. Just uncross the legs and hug yourself into a ball. Gently drawing yourself back up, bringing the hands behind you, just widen your feet. Start to windshield wipe the legs side to side. So for most of you know that this is how I go. We go into a pose, we come out and find that rebound. Then we find a little bit of yang movement. And the yang movement just allows us to free up any areas that might need it, but also to help us find stillness for the next pose we're coming into. So with that in mind, you're slowly going to draw yourself forward, and however you can get there, you're going to bring the left leg this time on top, readjust any props you've got if you're sitting on something. Let the feet be like little wee cow horns. Straighten that bottom leg if that's the option you need, or maybe you come into that simple cross leg. This time it'll be the left shin in front. Then take a moment to let the spine grow long. Not worrying about the arms at the moment. Then slowly sweep your arms as you lift them all the way up. Maybe the gaze will follow. And then gently wrap your left arm under the right this time, either clasping the hands together. If that is too much, gently hold opposite hand on shoulder. Feel a lift up and then slowly start to hinge forward, allowing that rounding to come through your spine, a softening through the belly. Slowly lifting yourself up. Gently release the bind. Let your arms come down by your side just for a moment. Take your attention to this heart space. Are you starting to feel a little more movement? A sense of space where there may have been closure. Then gently reaching your arms, lift all the way up. And then slowly bending that left arm. Let the hand come down your back as the right hand rests on the left elbow. This may be you. Or you might start to take that right arm out to the side, rotating it behind you, finding that clasp. And for me, one side is more accessible than the other. So adjust where you need and then slowly start to bow forward. The minute we force our body to go into a shape that it's not ready, the body starts to lock up. So instead, you're much better to pull back a little, to find where you can go. And over time, maybe tonight, maybe the next practice, maybe next year, more space will be on offer. Slowly coming back up, releasing the arms by your side, leaning back to uncross the legs, and gently curling back into that ball shape. I don't know about you, but I always find that when I do these holds with the arms, there's that sense of honesty, a realization that maybe I'd been holding on to tension in my upper body. There's that beautiful release that comes from letting go through kindness, nourishment, and allowing ourselves the opportunity to just be. Slowly coming back up, bringing your hands behind you, widening the feet, and just gently windshield wipe those legs. Maybe slower or faster than last time. Just find the rhythm that works for you. There is no right or wrong. And then slowly come back. And you're just going to draw forward, coming back to that tabletop position. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. We're going to come into heart melting pose, or puppy pose, it's sometimes referred to. And I'm going to use a blanket, because you've probably all got a blanket at home that you could use, or a cushion that is handy. Keeping the hips above the knees, start to walk your arms out in front, letting your torso, your heart, start to come down towards the ground. And you might widen the arms. I'm just going to lift myself a little as I talk. So the idea is that your heart starts to melt down towards the ground. You lift yourself as high as you need to go. Take a moment, maybe a shimmy of the hips. The arms might be wider and they might be closer together. I don't know if it's a result of being in lockdown for so long, or whether it's a sign of me getting older with every year. And I've really come to appreciate and enjoy the consistency of simple flows, the beauty of slowing it down. It's not to say I don't like the challenge of a strong flow, but there's something to be said in just stopping, pausing in the moment. So notice if at the moment you need that time to stop, to not have a conversation with others around you, to step away from the screens. To not think about what lies ahead. To just practice kindness. Never be afraid to move in or out of the pose as you go. We're only holding this one just for 2 minutes. It's more a transition through to our next pose. Take a deep breath in. A long, slow breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly drawing yourself up just enough to remove any props that you have, and then slowly come all the way down to your tummy. Rest one hand on top of the other. And just rest the forehead back down. You may feel like your prop has embedded itself at the front of your body. There might be a warmth and energetic flow. Just take note. Slowly going to lift yourself up. And from here, just bring your hands out to the corners of your mat, coming onto your fingertips like little wee teepees. Extend them long so you can just flatten the palms of the hands down so the arms are long here. Just feel that beautiful release coming through the body. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, like a wave uncurling, slowly come all the way back down. Let's float it. Inhale, slowly float up. Let your heart draw forward. As you exhale, slowly come to the ground. This time, move your hands in line with your ribs. Slowly float up through a cobra. Gently come all the way down. Lifting the head up, bringing your elbows underneath your shoulders. The hands are parallel to each other, coming to your Sphinx Pose. Now here, your legs can be wherever they need to be. They might be long to the edges of your mat. They might be close together. For some of you, if you have the space, you might be in the knees and lift the soles of the feeling. And that is not space in your room. It is the space in the body. I want you to feel the target area of a mild compression in the lower back, a release through the front of the abdomen. And for more of a restorative practice tonight, you might want to get a book and gently place it under your forehead. Checking back in with this heart space. Just notice what it is you feel. For you, it might be better if you're folding down the center of your mat. For some of you, it'll be better if you walk both arms left or right. You might want to try both. I always invite you to be Goldilocks, to try everything. Because if we don't try, we never know. Just like off your mat, we can become so routine in how we go about our daily lives, especially at the moment. So what if you changed What has become your new routine? You had your hot drink out of a different mug. You try a new ingredient in a favorite recipe. You change locations of where you work. Maybe it's only from the dining room to the bedroom. Maybe those options don't work. But if you don't try them, you'll never know what else is out there. Let your chin gently tuck down towards your chest. In Chinese medicine, the heart falls into the season of summer. The element is fire. So tonight, that's why there's been a little bit more movement in our yang time, to let that heat come into the body. Although it isn't summer, the sunshine today certainly gave us a glimmer of hope that it isn't too far away. Just one more minute here. Take a full breath in. As you let that breath go, gently come back, one hand on top of the other, forehead resting down. It doesn't matter which one is on top of the other. And keeping the forehead connected, gently bend the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling and just windshield wipe the legs side to side. And slowly lower the legs, coming back as a transition through to Sphinx. So with Sphinx this time, I want you to lift that right forearm away. And as you do that, slide the left arm underneath. The right elbow will just rest ahead of that left arm. Then slowly draw that right knee up towards the right elbow. We're coming into a twist. This might be where you need to stay. Or you might be able to start to take that right arm up and over, slowly finding that gentle twist. Your heart space now lifting up towards the sky, an invitation, an acceptance of anything that is ahead of us. You might take that left hand and just gently place it on top of the right leg. You might keep both arms out at a T shape. And it really does not matter here whether the shoulders are both connected to the earth. Only open as far as you need. You could always place a prop underneath the front leg at whatever height works for you. The palms can be facing up or down. Let them fall wherever they fall. And if it's too much with that left leg extended long, you can always bend it and just stack one leg on top of the other. It's the beauty of Yin. There is always somewhere more on offer. A place of comfort is what is needed. The hats you wear on any given day are put to one side. If the eyes haven't already, maybe you can gently close them. Invite that stillness, sense of inner peace to come through the body. You're only human, so the chatter may still be going on. Just listen to it like it's a faint whisper. Take a full breath in here. A long, slow breath out. With as much control as you enter the pose, slowly draw yourself up. Coming back through that Sphinx as we just pause this time just for a moment. Then lifting that left forearm up, slide the right arm under. Drawing that left knee up towards the elbow. Take a moment to just be here. Then maybe you roll that left arm open behind you. Take a full breath in here. And a long, slow breath out. Just one more minute left on this side. Notice where your gaze falls. Take a full breath in here. Long, slow breath out. And this time to come out, we're just going to keep rolling over onto our backs. Just realign yourself back into the center of your mat and extending the legs long, arms down by your side, finding that mini Shavasana. Slowly bring some movement back in through the fingers and the toes. Gently hug your knees into your chest, giving yourself a beautiful big rock as you hug, traveling side to side. And slowly lower the feet back to the ground. We're going to come into waterfall or Viparita Karani, legs up the wall as our final pose before Shavasana. So bringing the soles of the feet closer towards your sitting bones, push the earth away as you lift up and just slide a blanket, a cushion under the base of your spine, that sacrum area. And then lift the soles of the feet up towards the sky. The arms might stay down on the ground. They might reach upwards, or you may even take them up overhead. We're just holding here for 4 minutes. Allow a bend in the knee if you need it. Let the body drain fully, letting go of what is no longer needed. Keeping the legs gently lifting towards the ceiling. Let the breath slowly enter and leave the body. Let go. Letting go, I whisper, it's okay to release. Letting go, my body says, thank you, back to me. Letting go, my mind settles, finding a release so sweet. Letting go, I feel my body releasing, welcoming, and peace. The feeling of centeredness, grounded, and ease becomes available anytime that I'm willing to let go and welcome release. So in these last few moments before we find our final rest, can you let go? Can you welcome in a release? In your own time, can you make your way to your final Shavasana, removing any props if you need to, letting the legs come long down the edges of your mat, the arms gently come by your side, allowing the palms to gently turn upwards, pushing down into the back of the head. Roll your shoulders under as you lift your heart space up. Notice this heart center, and the stillness of the mind. Can you see the beauty within your own heart? Allowing a soft smile to come onto your face. You absorb this moment. I'm going to leave you in this final resting pose. Be mindful not to rush out. Take the time to let the whole practice sink in and be welcomed into the body. There is no hurry. The time is yours. Thank you for your beautiful practice, for taking the time for yourself, the journey of yourself, through yourself, to yourself. Namaste.